everyone, welcome to this week's Art Weekly. Carrying on from last week, talking about sewing machines and a series of sewing cards, I've just unearthed some patterns, some old patterns, and I'm thinking that I might do a little bit of collage using the paper patterns. I thought that might be quite good fun thing to do. I'll pause while Rocket barks. All the noise yesterday from Rocket was the delivery, the book delivery. It's arrived. It's in, when they say it's very, very good condition, this is as new, I would say. Fantastic. For £5, what an absolute find. So, really pleased with that. I'm still wanting to hang in with a few more birds. And last night I worked in sketchbook. I used some collage material from a magazine to experiment with a page, and somewhere in here on another I put down pieces pattern paper, which I'm then going to work on top of. I'm thinking I had there's another image in here somewhere. My sketchbook now is really all over the place. Yes, that's what I did. I put down, I've gone over the sewing machine last week. I showed you that I cut out and stuck down. I've glued the paper over where the main area, and then it got late and I just thought I'll just fold that in and see what I think about it tomorrow. So lots to experiment with there. I've said it before, I forget about collage, and then when I remember it, I remember how good it is. The other thing, I've got fingers in so many pies at the moment. That painting, the painting that I started last week or the week before, it started life as a big jar. It made me think about a ginger jar. It morphed into something else, and it's ongoing. And it's pushing up all sorts of ideas and thoughts. And it got me wondering about a collection of vessels, jars, bottles, dishes, shapes. This is just a homemade little concertina. And that made me start thinking about black. How I'm reluctant to use too much black, and yet I really, really like black. I really like black in the chair. I like black as a strong contrast. I mean, it really makes things pop. I've got the beginnings of something here that came, or is in the pipeline because, again, of what I'm doing here. And this guy is in the web shop that way. Hang on. Is in the web shop that way round, and I turned it again by mistake and thought, oh, I prefer it that way round. So I think also now I'm going to have to very carefully undo this. There's not enough strength of black in it, and I really like it. It's daisies that I've used with the gel plate last summer, the summer before last. And so that's calling me to do some work on it. So I'll suspend it from the web shop and until I've worked on it, and until I feel it needs some strength. That's my feeling on it now. I was thrilled to bits with it when I when I did it, and I definitely saw it that way, but now I'm seeing it this way, but I'm seeing that it needs strength. I could do a little bit on that. I'll use the sketchbook as somewhere. I like using sketchbook page as the Posca pens tend to budge. They will move and make a mess, especially if they're not bone dry. So I'm just going to push in a bit of other colour. We're digging out the turf for the new path, and we had a good plan. We've got planters that we're going to make. Robbie has been sitting up here because there are so many worms. He's got lunch, he's got breakfast, lunch and supper for a few days in here. He's not here at the minute. Yeah, so this will all break down, all the grass, and we'll have a nice bag of, the idea is we'll have a nice big bag of topsoil to reuse. So this morning I've done some housework, I've caught up with the ironing, and I'm now contemplating seeing what this looks like in a mount and a frame. I've worked. It's not, I haven't sealed it in because I'm still tweaking with that, but bringing that black up has made so much difference to me. And I think this can go every way round. Maybe I was scared to go in with the black initially, I don't know, but so a little bit more to do there. Where am I? I got the painting in the frame, and I've managed to mark the mount, so frustrated with myself for that. And it means I'm going to have to buy a large piece of mount board, make a new mount. But I think it's not fixed in properly, but I think I quite like it. So I might tweak around a bit more, but it's given me the kind of incentive, if you like, to push on with the painting, get it finished, get a new mount sorted. It's a tiny little mark. You can't, well, without my glasses on, obviously I can't see it in here, but oh, it's so frustrating, isn't it? That's me rushing, impatient, and not being careful enough, basically. That's where I am. That's where I am with the daisies. And I I genuinely like it every way round. Isn't that just crazy? So I might bring in a little bit more black down here, but I'm just going slowly with that one. I'm surrounded by cards. I've been working up a little bit more on the concertina, slowly getting there with that, and that's great fun. Playing around with more card ideas, but having the best fun outside at the moment. The cabin, all the fascias painted up. We got the guttering on yesterday. We need to go and collect a new water butt, and what else? And later on today, we're going to start putting down some flooring. And Craig wants to get as much finished internally before we open through. The storm has passed. We've only had a couple of pots that got blown over on our steps. I went forwards and backwards on this little one, so much more to play with there. What? Oh, and Bonnie, if you're watching, hi Bonnie, and thank you so much. I have had a few suggestions about using the envelopes that I'm left with from cards that go wrong, and oh, I haven't got it in here. Bonnie suggested using watercolour, cutting up your watercolour paper to make a watercolour card to fit in. So I'm experimenting with that, Bonnie, at the moment. But isn't it funny? It's just the most obvious thing, but not until someone actually suggests it to you. So I'm very grateful, thank you. I've got a selection of watercolour papers to play with, to see. On these little squares, I drew in with my pen just random daisies, because now I'm on a daisy theme, back on a daisy theme. So what I've got to do on this one, I've got the pen work underneath. I went in with a bit of paint, and now I want to just strengthen in areas on there. I rather like that green. I've been printing, cropping, chopping, and mixing, thinking I was going absolutely nowhere this morning, and feeling just about ready to give up. And then Daisy Bird came together. Let me just give her a fold. Hold on. So I'm glad that I carried on, and I've come up with her. I'll put a proper photograph in. But I'm absolutely over the moon. She's a real mix of what I'm working, what's surrounding me, I suppose, at the moment. So the bird is back. The bird is back with daisies and a bit more colour, quite a bit more colour. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but that's just about all I've achieved this morning. It goes like that. Sometimes things come more readily than others. I've got so much going on, because this week on Friday, the exhibition opens on Friday down in the Pantiles. Lots of local artists will have at least three paintings, pieces of work on display each. So the two rooms are pretty crammed, and it's lovely. There's cards, ceramics, some nice things. So if you're about, it's on for a week down in the Pantiles. I'll have my three framed pieces in. I think I've got one session on a Wednesday morning between 10 and 12. We share the rotors through, and we share the stewarding. All the artists that are taking part share the stewarding. I'll be going down on Wednesday to help. Yesterday I will have helped with hanging. trying to work out. This video comes out on the Thursday, so on the Wednesday before the Thursday, I'll have been down helping with hanging, ready for the opening on Friday. And I'm messing with this. Something I like, some bits I don't like. So as usual, I'll keep tweaking around. Right, I think it's lunchtime now. Having popped this one in the frame, it leaves me either with the blank on the canvas or this unfinished guy. So starting up something fresh or thinking about this, I started thinking about using the black again. What would it be like if this sat on a black ground? So what I did, I've cheated. I've taken a photograph and I've dropped black in, and I'll put the photograph in. So it's less of a risk. It's a small risk. I'm taking a small risk if I go in with the black. I think it needs to be done. I think I need to do something in this area, but I'm quite happy with the rest of it. So it's this and this. So I think I'll get my apron. Do I want to block all of it out? Do I want to block all of it out, or do I want to just block some of it out? I could keep this for now. I don't really know. This puts me in mind, we had a class when I was at uni we were all working on a really large format. So large paper behind it. And then everybody took off their front piece and the art was what was left underneath. That was quite good fun. So many things that you can experiment with. Oh, maybe just a section, I'm wondering. Standing back and looking at that, could it just be a section through here? So rather than going full out in my usual way, I will block in. I can sort something out here and maybe just hang fire on going any further with the black paint. I'm always coming across little bits of paper with quotes. I have bits of paper everywhere. This one says, I remind myself that the paint doesn't have to represent anything but my expression in this moment in time. I like that. It is about how you feel. It is about a place and a moment in time. Yeah, I quite like that. I do like that. Oh, I'm just going to lose I'll just lose that little bit of leftover green as a ground. for something else. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to have a look, have a think about having a panel of black. Have a play with your darker colours this week. Get the black out. It really does push everything forward, that's for sure. I thought about contrasting the black with white, the ultimate contrast, and then I thought about just dropping in. I've just put in a wash of colour, thinking in my mind, bold, strong colour, opaque colour against something a bit more transparent and washy might work. That is a bit of a distraction. Let's just turn that to the back. And I quite like it. My temptation now, I want to start fiddling around, and I probably will, and I like it. What I also might do is the thing I'm always talking about, which is start up another one. So before maybe going any further with that, I will move him over and maybe see if I can create a sister painting to go alongside, working from that. So I think that's what I'll carry on doing. That's what I'm doing. Whatever you're doing this week, have fun, be bold with your black, experiment in a small way maybe, and remember how much it can work as such a fantastic contrast. So that's all for this week, guys. Thank you so much as always for watching, for liking and subscribing, for all the wonderful suggestions that come. I'm very, very grateful. And the sun is shining. I'll have more updates next week, hopefully on the cabin. I'm so thrilled with that path. And it won't be long before I'm back in there. I keep saying it, it's so cosy down here, and I'm thrilled with my dry desk. We will see. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.